Okay, back for some more Bay Sunday. John Lennon once said, "Life is what happens while you're making other plans." So true. Our next guest is here to give you a little wake-up call now. Time to take charge of your life and forge ahead. Her new book titled, "What Are You Waiting For? Learn How to Rise to the Occasion of Your Life." Pleased to welcome Kristen Moeller out of Colorado this morning. How are you?
Yes. Oh, great.
Great
so
to have
nice
you
to be here.
So what are we waiting for?
You know, what are we waiting for? That is a good question, and I find that for many people it's different, but we usually have the same themes. I think underneath it all, we kind of disguise it with we're waiting for the right relationship, the right career, the right dream, to be the right age, the right education, the right amount of money. But really underneath it all, we're waiting to be perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or just waiting to get a kick in the backside.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to own lakefront up at Tahoe. I'd love to do this. I'd love to. Well, then do something about it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that's what you're about. Disrupting the ordinary. That's what you say, right?
Yes, and I think do something about it is great, except for if we're not addressing the underlying stuff. I have a training as a therapist. I have a master's in counseling, so I did therapy for many years, my own and
yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, right. But it really is. There's so much good advice out there. There are steps to do this and that, and just go live your dreams. But they can be just superficial and stay on the surface. And so what I'm after is really getting to the root of what's really getting in the way that stops us.
And you had a wake-up call
I
yourself.
Certainly did.
You had a food disorder?
Yes, eating disorder.
Eating disorder,
Yep.
An addiction.
Yes, I did.
You lost everything in a fire.
I did, yes.
So you had this great epiphany
Right.
years back, right?
Well, right. So I had an eating disorder and an addiction when I was in college. So I've been in recovery 24 and a half years, which kind of tells how old I am.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Do the math. So yes, so that started me on my path of self-discovery and what had me go back to school and earn a master's and become a therapist. But most recently, what you're talking about is I lost everything to a wildfire in Colorado. So I had the thing that many people fear, coming home to find a pile of rubble and having lost everything. And not just our home, but we live in the mountains, and so we lost our trees, we lost land, we lost everything.
Yeah.
And so yes, a wake-up call.
So how do we get started?
First we have to get clear on what we want. So often we are buying into old stories, things that we think we're supposed to want. It could be from school, it could be from parents telling us things, could be from teachers, could be from what we studied, things like that. So we're kind of moving on a path, but oftentimes we find out at one point in our lives, and sometimes when it's too late, that's not what we really want to be doing. So what I'm asking people is to really clarify, take the time to go through this book, take the time to clarify what it is you really do want, and then take actions accordingly.
Yeah, because if you hit all these dead ends, you're just going to waste your time.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, you get a great quote from Wayne Gretzky. You'll miss 100% of your shots if you never take one.
Yes.
So get busy, right?
Right. Yeah. And sometimes, you miss a lot. Take the shots.
Yeah, just do it. You never know what's going to happen.
You could go that way and that way and all of that. But, take them. Don't be afraid to take action. And I say take bold action. Not just, people just kind of come up to that edge and they get afraid and they don't want to take that next step. And yes, it's scary. It is scary. We talked earlier about, I often don't want to do anything. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to get out of my pajamas, But
yeah, you've got to do something uncomfortable
yes,
every day.
Right. We have to, exactly. One thing every day that scares you.
Yeah, and you grow from it.
Yes.
And sometimes we got to go out and do public appearances. And it's the weekend, and you might go, "Oh my God, I just kind of want to stay home today." And you get there, and all of a sudden you have a great time, and you meet these wonderful people, and you go back. That was fantastic.
Yes.
I'm so glad I did that.
Right. We're never, when you do that, when you stretch yourself, you're not disappointed that you did that. And yes, if you have a humiliating moment, if you make a mistake publicly, if you do things like that, it takes a moment. But really, then it shows you can survive that. I checked into my hotel the other day in LA, and I walked across the lobby, and I tripped and fell down in front of a bunch of people. That was my welcome to LA.
Hello.
And I was going out to a book signing later, but what do? I dust myself off, pick myself up,
absolutely,
and go out there anyway.
In the book, you talk about unwrapping your own gifts.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that we all it's that inquiry and taking the time to really see what's there, and looking at what is our own unique offering. And I've been shaped by having addiction as a young adult, and I had cancer, I've lost pregnancies, I've had a lot of things that have shaped me. And so my gifts have been to look at the messy part of what it is to be human and to allow other people to have their messiness and messy humanity. So you unwrap your own gift gift is finding what it is for each of us.
What is in this after all that you polished away?
Right.
Yeah, you got to fail before you succeed.
You do.
And you don't appreciate what you... Yeah, I know. And if you get there and it's easy, it just isn't worth the cry.
Yes.
And is it ever too late? I mean, if you're 60, 70 years old, you can always...
It's never too late. And we hear the most amazing stories. I had a woman who was 70 years old who read my book and said, I went back and I'd always wanted to be a metalsmith. And I started taking metalsmithing classes, and now she's making sculpture. Yeah. It's never too late.
My 85-year-old aunt, she's a watercolor painter now. Started at 81, and I've got one hanging in my house, and it's beautiful.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. So nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much.
All the best with the book.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information about Kristen's new book, What Are You Waiting For? Learn how to rise to the occasion of your life. Log on to KristenMoeller.com. That's KristenMoeller.com. Back. More Bay Sunday right after the break. Stay there.